latest development news and Tinto Talks, here is your lightning fast summary of everything we've relayed over the last 5 Tinto Talks for the upcoming 1.2 Echinades patch and the fate of the Phoenix Immersion Pack. Get ready to prepare your empire. We kicked off with Tinto Talks 100 Bureaucracy and Byzantine disasters. This covered the new fate of the Phoenix Immersion Pack, which focused entirely on surviving and rising from the ashes as the Eastern Roman Empire. We also highlighted Bureaucracies, the new mechanic which you will have to manage the massive organs of administration. For Byzantium, these are entrenched, outdated systems from a vast empire that now drain your rump state. You'll also face a fight for survival as you plunge into the new fate of the Phoenix disaster, where you must fight back against the Ottomans, Serbians, and other vultures ready to reclaim your lost territory. We then had Tinto Talks 101, where we covered Orthodoxy and the old gods. Patriarchs as characters is a foundation now, where the base system of Orthodoxy will still operate around the Patriarchate, but Patriarchs are now physical characters in their own right. We also discussed the Pentarchy. A major goal for any Orthodox empire is uniting the 5 permanent pillars of Christianity: Constantinople, Rome, Jerusalem, Antioch, and Alexandria. Uniting them will allow you to unilaterally declare an end to the Western Schism. And then finally, this talk also covered Hellenism returning. We have expanded upon the Easter egg resurgence of Hellenism, where you can now perform rituals to old gods roughly every 10 to 20 years to receive powerful omens based on your ruler's ability. Lest Zeus strike you down. Jumping ahead further again to Tinto Talks 102. Romanismos and the Greek fire. In this, we highlighted the societal values rework based on your feedback. We've now reworked the Latinitas versus Hellenismos societal value into Latinitas versus Romanismos. This now will reflect more accurately the historical push and pull between seeking Latin Western support or preserving your unbroken Roman inheritance. This talk also covered new subjects and secrets. You can utilize the new pronoii subject type, which is more extractive than a standard vassal. You can also sponsor scientists to undergo the costly, dangerous process of rediscovering the lost recipe for Greek fire to defend the Bosphorus. This talk also highlighted free Balkan content that's coming with patch 1.2. You, the player, will be getting over 300 new advances related to Greek countries, Balkan countries, and Francocratia, more than 100 new events, and new government reforms across the Greek minors and the Balkans. Then moving on to Tinto Talks 103, an economic revolution. You can now grant legal privileges to individual towns and cities, shaping their specific role within your economy. We're adding Megalopolises, a new urban level for your capital if it has over 400,000 pops and acts as a market center. This is an incredibly expensive undertaking, but it doubles your population capacity and free building levels. Organic pop growth, all population types, including peasants, burghers, nobles, and clergy, now reproduce and expand naturally over time, drastically reducing the rate of class promotion. And we discussed trade overhauls, where we've completely removed hard and soft trade range caps, replacing them with a continuous cost curve where routes accrue a scaling penalty the further they stretch. You can now also use new trade orders to let the AI automatically handle specific exports and imports. Then finally, Tinto Talk 104, matters of the military. We will be making changes to light and heavy units. Infantry and cavalry are now explicitly split into light and heavy categories, with light units acting with a much higher initiative but being more fragile, whilst heavy units are slower but more disciplined and lack damage penalties. We will be making changes to logistics to make them more punishing. Keeping your armies fed in the 14th century is now a genuine challenge. Your troops will consume 10 times as much food, and your base logistics distance will be slashed from 50 to 30. Siege Raider stance. You can now set subjects to the new Siege Raider military stance, and they will focus entirely on tearing down enemy fortifications whilst actively avoiding pitched battles and city walls. You will be able to build city walls in your urban centers. These provide a minimum fort level of 1 and will visually appear as a physical ring around your city on the map. These Tinto Talks covered so much more detail, and we've got so much more to talk about, with Tinto Talk 105 dropping right now over on the forums. And there's still plenty more news to come. about 1.2 and the coming immersion pack, Fate of the Phoenix. So for more development news, make sure you're following. I have been Alex, one of your community ambassadors. Until next time, be ambitious. As from the ashes, the empire endures.